JJ McCarthy was just drafted 10th overall by the Minnesota Vikings in this year's draft. After 3 years at Michigan, JJ McCarthy is going to finally get his chance to do something in the NFL. Rallying up 50 total passing touchdowns at his time at Michigan, JJ McCarthy is going to finally come to the NFL and play with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Now, to me, for a rookie quarterback, that sounds amazing. You're going to get to play with two of the best wide receivers in the NFL, two pretty proven guys, right? The NFL season doesn't start for another couple of months, so I figured let's take it over to Madden and let's simulate the entire career of JJ McCarthy. Without further ado, let's get into it. I wanted to upload this the day after the draft, but I waited a little bit just because everyone was really uploading all these, rookie quarterback drafts and Madden and etc. For the first 5 seasons of JJ McCarthy's career, basically his rookie contract, we are going to sim it season by season, and we're going to see how he does in each one of those 5 seasons. After those 5 seasons, we're going to sim 5 years at a time, and we're going to look at his progression history and basically look at all his awards like that. We're going to see what he can do in the NFL. This is going to be a great video. I'm really excited for this one. JJ McCarthy career sim. Let's get into it. So he's going to be 20 years old, rookie. He's got normal dev, which I'll probably wind up changing if Madden doesn't do it theirself, because I don't see why he would be a normal dev. He's got 94 throw power, 83 deep accuracy, 84 medium, and 81 short with that 72 awareness, which is probably dunking his overall a lot. But at a 76 overall, it's pretty good. He's also got 86 speed, 88 excel. Now, if we take a look at the team around him, of course, he's got Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Jordan Addison, pretty good up-and-coming wide receiver, and then Aaron Jones, Christian Darrisaw. We also got Sam Darnold behind him, which I did turn injuries off because I don't want him to get hurt. TJ Hawkinson, 92 overall tight end, so his offense is going to be pretty good, at least for his first couple of years in the league. Also, I'd like to keep in mind, I have everything on auto. I would not be touching free agency. I would not be trading. I will not be doing any of that. It's just going to be based off of what Madden thinks will happen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and sim to the playoffs, and let's sim past year number 1, and let's see what he does. So in JJ McCarthy's rookie season, the Vikings finished with a 7-10 record. Not really ideal, but when you're in a good division like this, I mean, I guess you can say I'll take it. Year number 1, 4.2k passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 22 interceptions with a 64% completion percentage. That's a lot of turnovers right there. 22 interceptions. We're definitely have to cut that down if he wants to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. But for 25 touchdowns, I get it. It's his rookie year. We can't really say too much on his part. But he did have 3 wide receivers over 1,000 yards with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Trent Sherfield. For some reason, he was one of the 3 wide receivers that had over 1,000 yards. Also in the rushing game, JJ McCarthy had 319 yards and 3 touchdowns to add to it. That's going to put a cap on his rookie season. Let's see if he did win any awards, any weekly awards at least. And he actually did win a weekly award in week 17. He won Player of the Week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He also won one in week 9, so that's 2 awards right there. We get rid off our belt. We're going to go ahead and sim to the Super Bowl and see if he did get maybe a Rookie of the Year award or anything like that. So he didn't even come top 10 in Offensive Rookie of the Year, because you got to remember, we still have all the other players that are basically now going into their second year on the Rookie of the Year kind of poll voting, because, this is Madden 24. We can't really fix that in any somewhat sort. So he doesn't get a Rookie of the Year award. He doesn't even come top 10 in best quarterbacks either. So season number 1, rookie season, 7 wins. Not too bad. The stats weren't really all there. This is going to be JJ McCarthy's team for year number 2. We still have Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson, and also we have Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson's still here as well. The offense is kind of pretty much the same. So nothing really different on that part. Let's hope maybe our scheme can change at somewhat way or forth. We did also draft a wide receiver. It's T. Forbes at a 72 overall. We also drafted T. Taylor at a 73 overall. They both have hidden dev, which is pretty cool to see. So I'm going to go ahead and give these guys their auto upgrades now, and I'm going to sim to the playoffs in year number 2, and let's hope we can make it. So year number 2, nothing really different. We did have one more win. We finished with an 8-9 record. I mean, it could be because we're in a pretty stacked division with the Lions, Packers, and Bears. But I mean, going into year number 2, I guess we're not doing too bad. 8-9 record, I'll take it, but we didn't make the playoffs. So let's go ahead and look at his year number 2 stats and see if anything changed in that category. And I don't know what happened, but Kirk Cousins took over as the starting quarterback for the Vikings. In the preseason, we had JJ McCarthy here, but I guess not. I guess they went ahead and got Kirk Cousins and brought him back, which is weird because he was actually on the Falcons, so I guess the Falcons cut him. He's only 22 years old, but still year number 2. When I saw those stats, I thought it was JJ McCarthy for a minute, and it wasn't. He won't be back, I can promise you that, and that kind of messes up a whole year of simulation right there. So obviously, he's not going to win any awards with that because Kirk Cousins took over as a starting quarterback, and he couldn't even get the job done. So we're going to sim to the next season. I'm going to make sure Kirk Cousins is not on the team. So here we are now in year number 3. I guess you can call this year number 2 because he didn't play last year because Kirk Cousins took his job. The team looks pretty different, honestly. JJ McCarthy's still here. Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones. We also added Amari Cooper. Still have Jordan Addison as well. TJ Hawkinson's still here, Christian Darrisaw, Garrett Bradbury, Brian O'Neill. We also drafted a left guard, which is nice. We're trying to improve there. But adding another wide receiver of a top tier caliber, that should really help about JJ McCarthy now going into his third year, considering he didn't even play last year. So we're going to go ahead and auto upgrade these guys, and we're going to sim to the end of the season. And let's hope Kirk Cousins doesn't just spawn on the roster again and take JJ McCarthy's job. All right, so year number 3, nothing different. We finished with a 7-10 record once again, and that's not really improving. We're just going to keep getting the same record, but JJ McCarthy did play this season. He finished with 4.2K passing yards, 28 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions with a 70% completion percentage. Compared to his rookie year, I'd take that as an upgrade because he had like 22 turnovers, but so we definitely have to cut that down. The completion percentage was definitely there. I love that, and he also threw for 4.2K passing yards, so I like that as well. On the rushing game, he also added 289 yards and 3 touchdowns as well, and 3 of our wide receivers, 3 of our top wide receivers had 1,000 yards, but that couldn't make us a crack in the playoffs. So obviously that sucks. No playoffs coming here as we finished with 7-10 record, third in the division, so we're gonna have to go ahead and sim to the next season, and let's hope we can just make the playoffs one single time. I also want to say while we're simming, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys can hit that subscribe button, I really appreciate it, and thank you guys very much. Here we are now in year number 4. JJ McCarthy goes up to an 82 overall. We still have Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson. The offensive line is still the same, and Aaron Jones has dropped to an 81 overall. We do have a rookie running back behind him though, and the team pretty much just looks the same. Let's hope this is the season we can crack the playoffs finally. I'm hoping we can, because that will make a big jump in JJ McCarthy's career. I'm going to go ahead and give the staff the auto upgrades here, and we're going to sim to the next season, and I'll be back with you guys. So we are now in year number 4, and once again a similar situation with an 8-9 record. This whole division wasn't really that good. With one more win, we possibly could have cracked the playoffs, but sadly we don't get to see it just yet. JJ McCarthy does not make the playoffs in year number 4. Technically year number 3, but he does make a big jump in his season stats. 4.6K passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions with a 68% completion percentage. He also added 259 yards on the ground with 1 touchdown, and also all 3 wide receivers had 1,000 yards as well. So no playoffs once again, but now JJ McCarthy, he's just entered his contract year, so we'll see if the Vikings decide to bring him back or not, or maybe he'll head to another team. I'm hoping that, honestly, because with this Vikings team we have such a good roster, we just can't crack the playoffs. Let's go ahead and sim to the next season. Let's see if JJ McCarthy stands with the Vikings or not, or he goes to another team. So JJ McCarthy is still on the Vikings roster. He also has 3 new upgrades, and he just signed a new massive contract. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. He's going to be getting paid all the way up until 2030, so he's going to be sticking with the Vikings, and let's just hope maybe this could be the season we crack the playoffs, as this is going to be the last year of just simulation. After this season, we're going to be simming 5 years at a time, and we're going to see if he can crack the playoffs between those 5 years, and then at the end of his simulation, when he finally does retire, we're going to look at his career stats and see what he did in the NFL. So year number 5 was a complete downfall, finishing with a 3-14 record, last in the NFC North and probably last in the NFC in general. JJ McCarthy finished with 4.2K passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 15 interceptions with a 66% completion percentage. So overall, not too bad on his part. He also had 279 yards on the ground, and once again 2 of our wide receivers finished with over 1,000 yards. So it doesn't really look like this is working out in the Vikings standpoint here, especially with JJ McCarthy. I feel like his career is going to be based on like a Matthew Stafford base bat, and he's not going to be making the playoffs once again. So now, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and sim 5 years into the future, and I'll be back with you guys. I know it says 10, but we're going to sim 5. I'll stop it when we get to 2030, and we'll see if JJ McCarthy's still playing with the Vikings or not. So here we are now in year number, I don't even know what it is at this point, but we're going to see what team JJ McCarthy's on, and he's still on the Vikings. He's a 94 overall at 30 years old. We are actually in 2033, which I wound up simming 5 years past the point, and looking at his stats, so I guess right after, I think we simmed after 27. So as soon as we simmed, he had a 33-9 touchdown interception ratio with 4.6K passing yards. He also had a 69% completion percentage in that year. Then he went to 4.5K, 31 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a 71. So right after we simmed, I guess his career just took off. 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions with a 67%. But then right after that, he got right back to work in 2031 with 4.2K passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a 69. And then the previous year, 4.2K, 37 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with a 69 again. Now it is time. So it looks like he actually did sign another contract extension with the Vikings. Let's check out his awards. He was appearance in 2 Pro Bowls. Obviously, he wasn't undrafted. He was picked, what was it, like 12th overall or something like that. But he does have 2 Pro Bowl appearances. appearances, no Super Bowls just yet, which kind of sucks. You know, he's going to be with the Vikings for 2 more seasons. There's nothing really too much else to do here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Vikings' current team. Yeah, so I guess the team just is completely terrible now. We still have Jordan Addison in 97, but Justin Jefferson is nowhere to be seen. We also don't have Aaron Jones, obviously, because he's probably retired by now. We do have Mr. Molden here at wide receiver 2, and Amari Cooper is still on the team. The defense is probably where we get most of our wins. I'm not sure if we've made the playoffs at all yet, because I obviously can't check that, but I think for JJ McCarthy's sake, now I would kind of consider this cheating in somewhat way or form, but I do want to trade him and to possibly let him try to get a playoff appearance. And, you know, where could we honestly send him? He's progressed like crazy. He's up to a 94 overall now, and it looks like Joe Burrow is not on the Bengals. And Patrick Mahomes is not on the Chiefs either. He's gone. So what is this Chiefs team looking like? Not too bad. I mean, they actually look pretty good. You know what? We're going to send JJ McCarthy to the Kansas City Chiefs for Jerry Day and a first, or Jerry Dre and a first round pick. We can't even do that because they're over the cap. The Panthers, tell me Bryce Young's not on the team. He's not, but they have Dan Gallery. They're going to go ahead and swap careers. So now JJ McCarthy is going to head over to the Panthers and Gallery is going to head to the Vikings. As we take a look at JJ McCarthy's new team, he sits at a 94 overall. We have Mr. Boyd with Superstar X Factor at an 84. Jonathan Mingo's still in the Panthers, so he's been pretty loyal. Isaiah Likely with X Factor and an 81 overall. Offensive line, not too bad. The defense, I wouldn't really consider it good, but we do have 2 pretty good players in Witherspoon and Horn. And we might have just sent him to a possible worse team, but let's hope he can make magic happen in Carolina. And we're going to go ahead and sim another 3 years because he is 30 years old. I don't want to go ahead and sim 5 years and he retires and we can't look at his final stats. So we're going to sim 3 years and I'll be back with you guys in 2036. We're now in the year of 2036, and let's see if JJ McCarthy is still on the Carolina Panthers or not. And he is indeed on the Carolina Panthers, as he's now starting to regress. He drops to a 90 overall, and I'm very interested to see if JJ McCarthy even had a playoff appearance yet. I really hope he did, or even won a Super Bowl. And it looks like after he left Minnesota, his career literally just took a downfall. He went from averaging over 30 passing touchdowns and 4K yards every season in the NFL to now 3,000 with only 20 touchdowns, and that's like not good at all. His completion percentage also dipped. That could be because he is like regressing, but maybe it's just a scheme, or maybe I'm just completely wrong. But I figure, you know what, let's go throw JJ McCarthy on the Kansas City Chiefs, who don't have Patrick Mahomes. And this would be the final simulation of this video, is sending him to the Chiefs and simming maybe 1 to 2 years, because he is at 33. He could retire any day now. I don't know. So we're going to send him to the Chiefs for their quarterback, Jerry Dre. And now what I'm going to do to make sure he does not retire, I'm just going to make sure he's on a multiple year contract so he can't just retire midway through the contract and we just can't look at his stats when it's over. Yes, so he would have 1 year left. We'll give him an extra year here and he'll be going to Kansas City, and let's hope we can finally make a playoff appearance or even not throw for 3,000 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to the end of the season and I'll be back with you guys. And we did in fact make the playoffs. We lost the last game of the season though to the Denver Broncos, but we made the playoffs with an 11-6 record, and this division was absolutely insane. We came to a competitive division. Let's go ahead and check out JJ McCarthy's stats though, as he throws for 3.7k passing yards, 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with a 68% completion percentage. He also adds over 400 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. So not too bad. He's not throwing too many turnovers. The passing yards is just not there. It's not there at all. With Jonathan Gannon at head coach, I wouldn't really expect too much. So let's go ahead and sim past this wild card game and let's hope we can get a win. And we beat the New England Patriots 27-17, and we finally get to see a JJ McCarthy playoff win, at least in our eyes, you know. Now we're taking on the 13-4 Las Vegas Raiders, who were first in the division and who also got the first round bye, and let's see if we can take them down or not. And we do lose to the Las Vegas Raiders 24-21, but JJ McCarthy, we got to see a playoff win. We're gonna go ahead and send him to the Super Bowl and see if he did win any awards. I doubt it, because he didn't really have too good of stats, and he doesn't even make the Pro Bowl, so that kind of sucks to see. And Joe Burrow's still in the league, so I'd love to see him still balling. So no yearly awards, but he does come in 7th in MVP voting, so I'm assuming he did not retire, because now he's at the age of 35 years old. I think we just sim 1 more season just to be safe and see if we can, you know, maybe even win a Super Bowl in that year. I don't think he won a Super Bowl with the Panthers, because I don't think we actually checked though. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that right now. Actually, he's 33 years old, so it looks like he has 2 Pro Bowl appearances and he has 2 weekly awards as an offensive player, and that's just counting this year because we know he's had multiple in his rookie seasons. So we're gonna go ahead and sim to the next season, and that's gonna be the last year of this simulation. And let's hope JJ McCarthy can finally finally make a crack at a Super Bowl. Alright, so we are now here in JJ McCarthy's final year of the simulation. We're going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs, and let's hope we can finally win a Super Bowl. This Chiefs team isn't too good though, only at an 81 overall. I doubt we make the playoffs, but we made it last season. Let's hope and let's sim to the end of the season. So we made the playoffs with a 13-4 record. We also had a first round bye this season. Let's go ahead and check out JJ McCarthy's stats. And in his final year of simulation, he throws for 4.2k passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions with a 71% completion percentage. He also had 4 touchdowns on the ground with 442 rushing yards. And almost 3 of our wide receivers had 1,000 yards as well. And in the divisional round, we're taking on the New England Patriots, who tossed us in the playoffs last year. Let's hope we can get some revenge and get this quick playoff win. And we do in fact beat the New England Patriots 28-20, and JJ McCarthy gets another playoff win. We're headed to the AFC Championship, and we're 1 game away from the Super Bowl in his final year of simulation. Let's hope we can beat Cleveland and see a Super Bowl. And we lose to the Cleveland Browns 20-17 as we win 13 games and we lose in the AFC Championship. That was probably his best year yet though, coming at an old age of 34 years old, and he didn't retire yet. Let's go ahead and look at his final career stats. JJ McCarthy finished his NFL career with 57,000 passing yards, 399 touchdowns, and 134 interceptions, 1 touchdown away from 400. He also had a 68% completion percentage. And on the ground, JJ McCarthy had almost 5,000 rushing yards at 4,895 and 40 touchdowns. So overall, pretty good career for JJ McCarthy. I'd say he made a lot of money over his time in the NFL. And he wound up playing for 3 different teams, playing in Minnesota for almost 10 years. Then he went to Carolina for 3 years, and he finished his career up with 2 years in Kansas City. He didn't make any NFL records, sadly, but you know, you can't really expect that when you don't make the playoffs too much. I know this only counts for regular season, but you know, we don't get to see any career records from JJ McCarthy, and that's really gonna do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn those post notifications on so you never miss another video from the GOAT Who Days himself. Also hit that subscribe button once again because we're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and make sure you guys enter the giveaway on my community tab. Till next time, it's Tyler signing off. See ya.